What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I actually heard this in the form of a rumor about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and there was no way of proving it. It was still a rumor. Now, we're getting a little bit closer to finding out what really happened. So, it's not full set in stone, hardened proof. However, it is one person involved in the rumor who's coming out and speaking out on what really happened. Now, they say there's two sides to every story. Here's one of them. Now, David Price, heavyweight, he recently said to Sky Sports, link in the description, he did an interview with them, and he claims that he knocked out Anthony Joshua. He says basically he was a novice pro, he was coming up in the pro ranks. Anthony Joshua at the time when they sparred was still an amateur, and he knocked him out. He says he knocked him out. He wasn't like sleep like Pacquiao versus Marquez 4, but he was out and his trainers had to come in the ring and like take him out and escort him out because he was clearly dazed and he wasn't clear-headed. And he believes that he held that information in, even though it was a rumor. He didn't really speak on it because he didn't want to come across as like a hater. Basically, he didn't want to come across as a hater and put that out there for Eddie Hearn's fighter because they were trying to build him up. But he said things have changed now. Now he would want to fight a guy like Anthony Joshua, and I guess in his claim to fight, he's leaking out the truth, or his version of the truth. Again, for me, the people could say anything because there's rumors that Pacquiao knocked out Amir Khan. Amir Khan says he bested Kell Brook in sparring when they sparred back in the day. Kell Brook says he won that sparring. So it's a gray area when it comes to these things because I wasn't there, so I can't really tell you what happened. This does sound like something that's feasible, though. I'll give you my 2 cents in this video. I think this is perfectly logical, and David Price is not like he doesn't have power. He's a big guy. He has power, and it looks like he was further along in his career. So to me, it's not that shocking that something like this could happen. You guys, this is why I talk about when it comes to, like, let's say Deontay Wilder versus Chris Arreola. Was Arreola favored to win? No, but we're talking about heavyweight, grown-ass men. I knew Arreola would outweigh Wilder on the weigh-in. Just historically, that's been the case, and that was true. So the point being, whether you think Chris Arreola has a shot or not, which the underdog didn't win that fight, but it's still a grown-ass man, and it's no different than this. Anthony Joshua, he's looking like a beast. He's gaining confidence. I really like Anthony Joshua's journey, but this is a guy who's, I don't even know David Price's height off the top of my head. I want to say he's 6'7". He's a big dude. He had confidence because this is probably before the Tony Thompson and Erkan Tepper and those types of fights where he was getting knocked out. So it happens, you know what I'm saying? These guys are grown-ass heavyweights, you know what I mean? If they clock you, especially if they're known for having power, this could happen. So my thing is this: I look at boxing through a realistic set of goggles, and it's kind of like that VH1 show, Where Are They Now? When I look at that, when I look at both fighters, David Price, recent performances, the 2 losses to Tony Thompson, he came back real quick and, oh man, that was an accident, that was a fluke, he just caught me. And then he lost again. Then he lost to Erkan Tepper, who I think tested positive after that fight. But regardless of anything, that's just like Miguel Cotto. Most likely Margarito cheated when he beat Cotto the first time, right? But whether that has doubt or clouds of doubt around it, it doesn't change what happened to Cotto in there, right? It doesn't. He still took that beating. He still took that punishment. Same thing with Erkan Tepper. You could say, oh, it's a no contest now or no decision or whatever, but David Price still got knocked out by him. He still endured that. He still suffered that pain, that beating, you know what I mean? And when I look at it, Anthony Joshua, he has the confidence right now, and he has a lot of momentum, because the same could be said with Dillian White. Joshua got knocked down by Dillian White in the amateurs with headgear, and he lost to Dillian White. But as a pro, different story, because again, it really matters. Timing is everything in boxing for me. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things, like Sergio Martinez lost to Antonio Margarito, but he started boxing late and they stepped him up in class, and Margarito was just the dude right then. But as Sergio Martinez reinvented his career and when he was fighting guys like Kelly Pavlik, knocking out Paul Williams and stuff at 54, if he would have fought Margarito at that point, it might have been a completely different fight, because he had the experience, he was comfortable in his style, he had developed his style, different ball game. And I could do this all day. Lucien Bute, I heard he was beating up on Jean Pascal when they used to spar back in the day, and I heard Lucien Bute was beating him bad in sparring, right? When they finally fought, that's not what happened. Pascal dominated him. I mean, I think I gave Bute 1 round, but things had happened since then. Like, Bute got knocked out by Carl Froch by the time he fought Jean Pascal. So you have to factor in all of these types of information and all these variables. And to me, if the fight were to happen, I would definitely pick AJ, just based on where they're at in their career now. Like, that's like me playing basketball with LeBron James when he was in middle school and I beat him. But that's not the LeBron James you see now. Even in high school, he was a good player then, but he's been to the finals. He's won championships. So because I beat LeBron James in a game of one-on-one basketball in 8th grade or 9th grade or something, that doesn't mean that I could get with him now, because things change. People's body type changes. Like, what if I was fast as fuck back then, but now I'm slow because I let myself get out of shape or something? You know what I mean? You got to consider in all those things. So David Price, it sounds like he's, to me, bringing this up because he wants that type of fight. Maybe he really is confident that he could beat Anthony Joshua. Me personally, I would pick AJ to knock out David Price. The biggest reason is because the wear and tear that David Price has had, and I think his chin is more suspect. So, and I think things change, and I think right now Anthony Joshua, he's already put the Dillian White fight to bed. He avenged that loss. He beat a champion in Charles Martin. He just beat Dominique Brazil, who is a similar height to David Price. All the signs to me suit Anthony Joshua at this current moment. That's just how I see it. Let me know what you guys think. David Price claims he knocked out AJ in sparring years ago, and drop it in the comment section. Do you want to see the fight? Who would win in the fight? Anyone picking David Price? If so, why? Make sure you like and share the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.